it's an app you can get on your phone, but also has an online version. We'll go with the online version again. Apologize for having my back to everyone. Let me log in here.
Does anybody in the room have this app on their phones? Use it? A few.
I like it. Again, the biggest thing with this is the data that's in here is your maps are only going to be as good, as Dave said, as the data that's inputted into this from, say, the county auditor. And there's two versions. There's a premium version that is a paid application. It's, I think, $30 a year for one state and then $100 a year for all 50 states. I use it a lot when I go camping because I can pre-download a lot of the maps, whether it's topo or aerial photography. And then when I'm out of cell phone range, I'll still, GPS on my phone will still work. So I'll still be able to tell where I am. See if I can remember my password.
That's the biggest challenge in life.
Hey, I remembered it.
Yeah, save that on my computer and I can use yours.
So as you can see, it pulls up and it already has some data on places that I've been. I don't recall what I did in Missouri. Oh, I probably went when I was on vacation, like at the Ozarks. Okay. So you can go by, you can do just topo, a hybrid, and then just a satellite. If I'm not inputting an address, I'll just use the topo because it goes much more quickly when I'm searching for something. You can also type in the address or GPS coordinates. So on the way here this morning, so this has all the information from the county auditor. So you can see, Austin Powder, and it'll tell you some information about it, who owns it, the number of acres that particular parcel is, what the weather is like on, on today. Zoom in here. One of the neat things about this is you can actually, so I did this on my phone. There's an application on your phone. I did this on my drive-in on my phone. Let me put the hybrid on. And I took a picture. And it's not coming up. Well, earlier, and maybe it just hasn't uploaded. Let me try this.
Run the app and got back in Wi-Fi.
I might not have. But we've been seeing my office a lot lately, so we'll go back there. And you can see earlier, I took a couple days ago when I knew I was doing this, I just took a photo of my computer screen of onX. But what's nice is, so if you're in the woods and you see a plant that you might not know, you take a picture of it. Maybe you get back to your vehicle or to your home and get your field out, your field guide out, and then figure out what it is, and then you can go right back with the GPS data and go right back to that spot. And you can also create maps in this. I just found out this feature the other day that when you create a parcel, we'll just do the parcel right now, create a little map. You can go over to the tools section on the right-hand side, and you can choose, say, your line color, click on that, and I can click to draw. So I'll just randomly draw some polygon here, and it'll tell me the acres of what I just drew, and then the yards, how many yards it is to each point, and then I can name it whatever I want. And then I can scroll down and save this to a folder if I want. And I have a folder called plans, but you can put in you can create a folder, say, plants that I don't know, or mushroom hunting spots, anything like that. And then I can go to that folder and pull that area back up. I can go to a different property, pull that area up. This is one map I created. And again, we're better foresters than we are IT professionals. Now, one of the other nice things about this program is if you draw a map, so it has the landowner information. If I don't want that on there anymore, if I don't want any of these other, why is this giving me fits? If I don't want any of the other parcel information, I can go over to my content. Where is it? I'm used to using this on my phone. It looks a little bit different. Oh, map layers. You go to map layers, and these are all the different layers. I have Ohio private lands on. I can turn them off. Now only the polygon or the map that I drew is going to show up there. There's a few different other layers you can put on, Ohio hunting boundaries, private lands, government lands, and then all that information will show up there. So here's a Warren County, here's one of their parks, and it even has some of the trails they have on the property and how long that trail is to certain parts. So there's a lot you can do with it. With a lot of these different mapping applications, it's just playing around with them and seeing what's there and what you can do with it. And then you can use, take your soil map and then draw in those layers onto this map and save that as a file. In my neck of the woods, we don't have much topography as we do over here. And so I do like having the topo layer on though, because then I can help me see if I can find a property that has some topography to it. If I'm drawing out maybe a stand and I know that stand is an upper slope and a lower slope, I can follow along with that topo line. I can even there's a spot on the application on the phone where you can put on tracking, so you can walk the boundary line, save it, and then they'll show up in the map here as well. So that's really nice too. And you can save, just like on here where I could just add a line. It'll tell me the distance that line is. I can add a point if there's something that I see that, discard. A spot of interest, I can add a waypoint that later I can come back to. And then again on your phone, you have the option of adding a photo as a waypoint as well. So I've used that when I've been squirrel hunting and I found a couple good, hickory trees and oak trees and just took some photos to help me remind me. Or if you find some ginseng, or maybe you find a good elm tree, take a photo of it later during the morel hunting season, you can go right back to that elm tree. So yeah, anyone have any questions on it? No? Okay.
Where do you have anything to add? I've been using this for a couple of years, and what I do is use this for a couple of years. The first time I had just a regular Ohio map. The last year and a half, I went and got the full 50 states. And it's really nice.
to be able to, if you're going, say, down to South Carolina, North Carolina, you're going camping, you just add a new layer on. One thing that I also like about it is, I mean, it's up to people if they want to do this, but I bought the whole United States, and I've given it to probably 5 or 6 people to use it. I mean, it's $99, but there's nothing on it that's private to me other than some locations. But say if you have a family of 3 or 4, you got grandkids or something, and you buy this, then you can share your information, your username and your password, and they can have the same access. And what's also really nice about this is, say you're out somewhere in a forest and you hurt your leg, but you don't have any cell phone service. You can actually take a picture or a pin of where you're at with this and send it to somebody, and they can find out exactly where you are. That's a nice application to have. One of the other applications is, I don't know if you talked about this a little bit, but say you go into an area where you know there's absolutely no cell phone service. Well, how are you going to know where you're at if you're going to that area? Well, beforehand, there's an option on there to download an offline map. So if you know the area that you're going to, it comes in 5-mile, 10-mile, and 150-mile resolutions. So before you go out there, you have the option of downloading that offline map. And when you know you get to that location, you have no service, but you still can follow where you're at and where you're doing, and do all the same tools that you can while you're offline. So that's a really nice option as well when you're messing or when you're going on Onyx. It's a great tool. I love it. There's so many different layers on this. I mean, you can map out and layer crop trees, agriculture. You can do any tool that we've shown on the other ones. You can do the exact same thing on this. It's all just the painful for this.
How good is it if you want to market that?
You still can. It's good. Yeah, you can track yourself. You can make waypoints. You can draw boxes like we do. And
this is the offline maps that I had when I went camping with my friend at Monongahela National Forest in West Virginia. And so those green boxes are the maps that I downloaded. And I like to overlay them just so I make sure that I'm not missing any portion. And then you can download them in different, I think these are 5 square miles. You can do 5, 10, 150. Yeah. So yeah.
yes.
And then I download, it's nice, it has all the forest roads and main roads. And then again, I like the topo layer overlaid with the aerial layer as well, because with that aerial layer, I think I can see a lot, where there's a clear cut or an opening or that sort of thing.
It is nice. There's places that we're down here doing this past weekend. I was looking for areas for my son's night after 17th and 18th. And there's an area I'm really excited about getting to. And I clicked on Onyx and actually showed me that it was a primitive firearm zone only. If I wouldn't have seen that, I would have never even known. And I could have gotten in trouble for that because there's nothing that stated. There's no signage anywhere along that path that said that it was a primitive hunting zone only. So things like that, the information's there. It's really, really nice to have. This is one of my favorite ones.
And I like here, I was camping with my friend. We came across a vernal pool. So I marked that particular spot. And apparently there was also a big hawthorn tree. What was this spot?
So back to your boundary piece, it's only as good as the parcels in it. If you're out there and you see evidence like an actual corner, you know that's the boundary corner, you can actually put those on the map and compare what the base layer says. Drop in map.
For example, I was out 2 weeks ago and these cars walked by, and there was a controversy over the landmarks for pins and corners. But Onyx allowed me to get close, and I actually found the pin. And I wanted to slide it back throughout. It was legitimately close. It was probably 20, 25 feet off. It still got me in the ballpark range to be able to find that. There's a question over there.
Yeah, this is called Onyx.
Onyx. And it's an app that you get on your phone. And it's they got tutorials when you first sign up to tell you all the things that you can do to help you out in the process of learning to be familiar with applications.
You have to get close to the mic.
I'm sorry. Let's come up here.
So a question I have is, for example, with that primitive hunting methods, who put that on there?
I would
You
think.
know what I'm saying? Well, how does the information, like if I mark stuff on there, is there some permission I'm given to?
No, what you mark is only.
How does the information get on there?
Those layers are sent through Division of Wildlife, like Ohio Division of Wildlife, the Forestry Division, U.S. Forest Service. They all have different layers that you can add on there. So if you just get a base map, and then say, with this Onyx, if you have a base map, it will just show you what's there. Now, if you click on it, it will show you the property owner. Now, when you click on the layers for the state that you want to have, there will be 7 or 8 different options that you can put on there. Soils and water. You can have U.S. Fish and Wildlife, hunting zones. So it's a bank of information from different organizations that put all that information in this one app for people to, it simplifies it for people. So instead of having to call the game wardens or the Kentucky Division of Wildlife and ask them questions, these layers are on there for people to make it simple. You just have to know how to navigate through. That's the big thing. But what you do for your own map and putting on, that's strictly for you. That's why you, yeah.
So like if I'm going in an area where there's chronic wasting disease, there's a map layer for that. And this is the, I'm not sure who the NDA is who manages that layer. The National Deer Association.
Probably APHIS Day.
Yeah. Crop data, you know, corn, beans, hay, lots of different data.
Yeah,
I just didn't even, I haven't played with this for a while. There's a tree species and habitat maps.
They keep on adding new ones all the time. It's pretty elaborate.
Yeah. So like I said, I share this with a couple of people as well, and I get the premium subscription, or if you're the elite or whatever, to get all 50 states.
Can you find where ticks are at?
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah.
Where they're back.
Yeah.
Okay, we probably need to move on because we're getting short on the Zoom portion of it. Thanks, Pat and Jordan.